Most people think wealth is protected by clever moves, secret knowledge, or a perfect plan. But money is usually lost in a simpler way. It leaks through moments when emotion drives the timing. The real protection is not a spreadsheet. It is the habit of placing a small space between what you feel and what you do. Every financial decision begins in the nervous system. Before the mind calculates, the body reacts. A headline hits, a message arrives, a price moves, a friend boasts, a bill shows up. Tension rises, the heart speeds up, the mind narrows, and urgency appears. In that state, the brain doesn't search for truth. It searches for relief. That is why people buy too fast, sell too fast, and commit too fast. They are not choosing what is best. They are choosing what calms the discomfort. The quiet habit is simple. When your state is charged, you wait. You do not answer the market. You do not answer the sale. You do not answer the pressure. You let your inner weather pass before you move. Calm people are not passive. They are selective. They understand that speed is not a virtue when it is forced by fear or excitement. This is where Stoic discipline becomes practical. A Stoic does not try to control events. He trains his response. The event is neutral until it enters the mind. A loss is not a command. A gain is not a guarantee. Noise is not a signal. The quiet habit is refusing to treat emotion as information. Most traps use the same doorway: manufactured urgency. Act now. Last chance. Don't miss out. Everyone is doing it. These phrases are not arguments. They are triggers. They bypass patience and recruit pride. The calm person notices the trigger, names it, and then refuses to move on its schedule. That refusal protects wealth more often than any prediction. The same pattern appears in spending. Many purchases are not about need. They are about identity. People spend to look competent, successful, relaxed, or ahead. They spend to numb boredom, soothe anxiety, or prove something to someone who may not even be watching. Calm people still enjoy life, but they don't use money as emotional medicine. They delay decisions until desire becomes clear and quiet. If the urge fades after a day, that was not a need. It was a wave. Letting the wave pass is not deprivation. It is training. Stress also makes people expensive to themselves. It shortens time, weakens negotiation, and invites bad terms. A stressed person accepts fees, interest, and conditions just to end the discomfort. A calm person can sit with discomfort a little longer, and that extra time becomes leverage. He asks one more question. He reads one more page. He calculates the true cost, not just the monthly payment. He checks what happens if income drops, if rates rise, if plans change. Nothing dramatic, just clarity. Think of the quiet habit as a rule you follow automatically. No major money decision while your chest is tight, while you feel rushed, while you feel the need to prove you are right. Wait until you can explain the decision in one calm sentence. If you cannot explain it calmly, you do not understand it yet. This habit also protects you from the softer leaks, subscriptions you forgot, upgrades you didn't need, convenient spending that replaces sleep, cooking, and planning. Calmness makes routines easier, and routines reduce expensive surprises. Over months and years, these pauses compound. Not dramatically, but reliably. Calm choices remove the common leaks: impulsive upgrades, revenge spending, panic selling, ego investing, and debt taken out of pressure. Wealth is often less about chasing more and more about losing less. The quiet habit keeps money from leaving when the world gets loud, and it keeps your mind from becoming loud when money gets involved. You can practice it with small decisions, so it is ready for big ones. Start with a 24-hour delay on anything that feels like a reward or a rescue. Notice how often the desire disappears once the nervous system settles. Use a simple checklist. Is this decision driven by fear, by envy, or by urgency? If yes, pause. Then return when your breathing is normal and your mind is wide again. Calm people are not immune to emotion. They are trained to wait for the emotion to finish speaking. That is why their wealth survives downturns, temptations, and sudden opportunities. They are not chasing the next move. They are protecting the ability to choose. In the long run, the greatest advantage is not higher returns. It is fewer unforced errors. When you stop reacting, you stop paying the invisible tax of emotional decisions. Money stays, sleep improves, relationships calm down. And from that calm base, good choices become the default, not the exception. Quiet strength is financial strength. The pause is your shield, and the shield is built in silence every single day. Stay steady. Financial well-being is not only the number in your account, it is the quality of your attention, your sleep, and your choices. Many people chase wealth while living in constant inner noise, and that noise quietly burns money. It pushes them toward quick fixes, risky promises, and lifestyle inflation that looks normal because everyone around them is doing it. The quiet habit protects wealth because it protects the decision maker. When you are calm, you can see patterns. When you are stressed, you can only see exits. That is why stress produces expensive habits. Paying for convenience because you are tired, paying for distraction because you are anxious, paying for status because you feel small. None of it feels like a financial decision in the moment. It feels like relief. Later, it becomes regret. Calmness interrupts that loop. It gives you a gap where you can ask a better question. What am I actually trying to solve right now? If the answer is emotional, money will not solve it for long. Stoic practice is not coldness. It is clarity. It is the ability to feel something without being commanded by it. In money, that means you can experience fear without selling your future. You can experience excitement without buying the top. You can experience envy without copying someone else's life. You can let other people rush while you keep your pace. This habit also changes how you plan. Calm people prefer simple systems they can repeat. They automate savings, keep an emergency buffer, and choose investments they can hold through noise. They don't need constant novelty. They need durability. They understand that the goal is not to win every month. It is to avoid the mistake that breaks the decade. They also protect their environment. They reduce inputs that trigger reaction. Endless charts, dramatic news, comparison feeds, conversations that revolve around flexing and gossip. Less stimulation means fewer impulses. Fewer impulses means fewer leaks. And when a real opportunity arrives, they can act decisively because their baseline is steady. Notice the paradox. The calm person is slower to react, but faster to move when the decision is clear. That clarity comes from practice. To train it, use a rule. If you feel a spike fear, pride, anger, excitement, you delay action. Write the decision down. Sleep on it. Reread it in the morning. If it still makes sense when you are calm, you proceed. If it only makes sense when you are charged, you let it go. Over time, you will see a change that is bigger than money. Your life becomes quieter. Your relationships become less reactive. Your health improves. Your confidence stops needing applause. Then wealth becomes what it was always meant to be, a tool, not a test of your worth. Here is the conclusion. The world will always offer you reasons to rush. It will always offer fear and excitement as shortcuts to action. The quiet habit is refusing the shortcut. It is choosing composure again and again until composure becomes your default. That habit protects wealth because it protects the person who holds it. And when the person is protected, when the mind is steady, money stops slipping through the cracks. You may not look busy, but you will be stable. You may not look dramatic, but you will be free. Your wealth will grow at its natural pace, and it will remain where calm lives. There are 3 quiet practices that make the habit real. First, keep a small decision delay for purchases above a set amount. Not to punish yourself, but to test whether desire is stable or temporary. Second, keep a written reason for every investment or big commitment. One sentence is enough. If you cannot write a calm reason, you are acting on feeling. Third, protect a margin of safety. Margin is not pessimism, it is dignity. It prevents you from being forced into bad timing when life surprises you. Margin also changes how you think. When you are not cornered, you can be patient. When you are patient, you can be rational. Rational people don't need perfect forecasts. They need consistent rules. Another quiet skill is separating self-worth from net worth. The moment money becomes identity, every fluctuation becomes a personal insult. That is when people gamble, lash out, or hide. Calm people do the opposite. They measure progress in habits, saving, earning, learning, and resting. They focus on what they can control, and they let the rest be noise. Finally, remember that wealth is protected in ordinary days, not heroic ones. It is protected when you say no to the impulse, when you cook instead of scrolling, when you walk instead of shopping, when you close the app and return to your life. Those choices look small, but small choices, repeated, build a life that money can support without owning it. Stay calm, wait for clarity, and let time work. That is how you protect wealth without fighting for it, day by day.